What are you doing? You want some suppers? Breakfast? Oh yeah, you think so, eh? You think so, buddy? Okay, yeah, sure. Oh yeah. Oh, you son of a... Oh, you dirty rat! Oh, that's right. What do you think? Yeah? All right. I'll give you a little bit more. Wait a minute, please. Have patience. It's coming. There, I'll give you a little bit more. I already had some. I gotta fill my little cat container up. Oh boy, what do we got here? Let's do this. Have a little bit of cinnamon and sugar. Cinnamon's good for you. Friends, good morning. Friends, good morning. I'm just putting a video together for you. Oh, isn't that first coffee the best, friends? Don't you find the first coffee to be the best in the West? I sure do. Friends, listen, to the newcomers, welcome to Buck and Billy Ray Smith's YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm heavy on the tree cutting and the power saws and the old vintage saws. Macs are my favorite. So there's a lot of old McCulloughs on here. We're always doing projects with power saws. We're cutting trees, and we are into axes like crazy here. But you know what? All in all, besides that, one of my favorite comments on this channel is, "Hey, Billy Ray, I'm new to the channel. I'm not a logger. I'm not into axes. I don't own a chainsaw. I just like being here." Friends, to be honest, that's what the channel is about. 80% is that right there, is the human connection. So I will never stop doing that. I will never stop talking about doing better for yourself and tapping in to your God-given gifts, whether it be physicality or brain smarts or art or whatever you're into, to invest in that. Invest in yourself. Don't push water uphill with a rake anymore. Turn the boat down and go with the flow and just, you know what I'm saying, friends? Bettering yourself. And it's a journey. It's a journey. So that's what this channel is about as well, is investing in yourself. So today's video is me and Hogan up island a little ways. We got a call on a tree job. Nice folks. It's just fallen, but it's tight quarters and there's lots of little things. And we get into some interesting things. There's the neat thing here where the grain of the wood changes from tight, then they cleared the property and you can actually see the grain change right when they started building the house. That is a life story, the grain of the wood, right, friends? You can see where it got smashed up logging and compartmentalized the old wounds when they cleared the site. It's really cool, but it's 4:30. I've been up for an hour, but I build videos for you guys at this time. This is when I make our videos. And I know my schedule is all over the place, friends. So is my life and so is my mind. So I do my best to get you out what I can. I love yous all dearly. I truly do, friends. This is your life. This is your freaking life. Go with what's in there and just roll, because you never know what's going to happen in this crazy life. Spread love to one another. Help each other out. Let's unite. Let's unite as human beings, as the species on this planet, to try and make things better for what we are handed. Over and out. Enjoy the video.
Once these two are out of the way,
Yeah, well, we'll
this
have
one
a...
will have no, it won't even reach that other tree.
Should be good. So friends, here's our scenario. We're up in Whiskey Creek, Qualicum area, on your way to Port Alberni. And we're up here. We don't usually come up here, but it's a friend of the family's, and they're nice folks, and they got a hold of us. They watched the channel. And they had that big wind that came through and blew that whole thing down. They experienced it here too. They've had some tops.
Pretty much the whole island got hit by that storm.
It did, Sonny. You're exactly right. But son, look at that one. There's a nest in that. There's a crow's nest at the top of that tree. I'll almost guarantee it. See it?
Oh yeah, up in the.
Something's up there. And
Maybe a raccoon nest.
it could be, and you see all the,
I feel like it's more likely a raccoon nest.
well, you'll notice if it is, you'll notice all the skank at the bottom. You'll notice the claws. Anyways, regardless, we got a bit of stuff. We can fall this stuff, friends. It is Wedgman. It is a wedge show. As you can see, there's no bones on this side. It's going up in between here. Yeah, it is going to need banging up in here. So we'll just fire up, get going. We'll talk to you in a minute. This one might even just walk away.
Yeah, we don't want to hit these. It's not the end of the world, but we don't want to. All these trees are busted up enough.
Hey Tasman, do you notice the angle of the wedge? It's not coming straight in. There's no room for wedging here. Small trees with a back lean are harder than big trees because you've got no room. You can't just sink your power saw in, start making a stump and crack it over. You've got to think. So just notice the angles of the wedges, and if anybody's doing this stuff, keep an eye on what I'm doing. It's all for a reason. There's actually a method to everything. You see my gap out there? It's a gap of maybe 15 feet or something like that from that little busted up chair to those trees. Now I want to stay to the right to that tarp, but I don't want to puncture holes in the tarp, and I don't want to tear the crowns out of that tree, those two pieces of trees, because everything's been smashed up here real bad already. So watch what we do here and watch what I do on the very end right here.
That's a nice little power saw the Iron Horse built for Hogan. Really nice. We're running our 66s today, friends, because of the size of the wood.
I want to quickly interject here for just a second. Now you hear me say right here that the wood is young, because it looked young. Something about that stand of timber in there looked weird. The foliage, the bark, it just something looked young. But this is extremely interesting. This is where this video may end up in two things, because there's some stuff I want to share. That tree that just went over, little stuff like the wedge, I know there's people out there wanting to do their own tree work, and these little things help people. I'm going to do it, because usually it could just, some guys will do it where it's just undercut, back cut, boom, the tree's on the ground. Yahoo, look at me, yay, party on. I'm not that gig. That's not the deal. I want you guys to grasp something here and go, yeah, I remember doing that, and now that's going to make my life easier. Do you understand, friends? That's what I want to do here. So there's lots of little tidbits in my videos, friends. I don't necessarily stop and say, okay, this is why we're doing that, but the voiceovers and the interjections help. Now listen, this is very cool. I show the grain of the wood, And it's very, very interesting here. This is the stuff that gets me vibrating and gets my juices flowing, is what's happening here. Watch what happens with the wood. It comes later in the video, I think. But I thought the wood was young. It's not necessarily that young. And you might see why in a moment.
So what it is, friends, two beautiful homes on a piece of property. The wood's young. It's real young. The neighbors took one down, probably bigger than all of these, but it's right here. Look at the grain. Look at how wide the grain is. See it? It's massively wide. So you can see, friends, this is going to be a bang. Like it is. All that foliage and all those limbs, it's going to be a bang. I'm prepared for it. I know it is. Greenhouse, house, house. So it's imperative that a man knows where his holding wood is at all times. You can't look enough. You can't. This is a good looking stump here. I give it a little tickle. At the last minute, I just cut this piece right here because I see our tarp is out there. See that, friend? You see that? So we're just on the money. And I want to stay off of their trees, which is right there. Okay? One in this. Thanks, bud. Thank you. Here's the deal. Learn how to fall trees from both sides of the stump, friends. All you fellas out there cutting trees, learn to fall from both sides of the tree. Woo! Hoagie's running. She almost sounds a little heavy. Huh? Little fat, maybe.
Yeah, it keeps dying out when I let off.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, let's square that away. Hogan said his saw was loading up a bit, which makes sense because it's probably breaking in, son.
Yeah.
You know? Is this mine?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's got the shorter bar.
Friends, I talk about cutting trees down on a target side of the tree. You know what I mean by that? Not bad. Yeah, thanks, son. So, Sonny was just giving me some kudos on my stump. Oh, thank you, young sir. No, friends, we talk about the trees growing fast in here. Well, they definitely have, but in the beginning of their lives, they didn't. So it's not that they're young. I should probably rephrase myself. The wood's not really young. It's that in its second stage, which is after somebody came in and cleared and built houses, and it grew really, really fast. Look at the grain here compared to what's going on here in its first 50 years. Because that's easily 40 years right there. 30, probably 30. There's an old wound. Look at that. Interesting. I'll bet you that wound is from when they logged. Right there, a scar on the tree. I'll bet you that's what that is. If you did the timing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then another 10. So when did she say the 70s? Mm-hmm. So that's interesting.
Today?
Hey?
You gonna let me cut something today?
Yeah, I am actually. You're gonna cut that one over there. So I'm gonna cut from the other side of the tree now, friends, because the tree's leaning that way. It's got like belly loop that way. This one up here had loop kind of that way, so it's on the outskirts. Do you know what I mean by that? Fall trees on, we got targets on both sides. Pick the least part of the problem. Here, I'm just gonna fall right here because this tree has a bow to this target. So I'll know where my holding was is at all times, so it's not gonna, you know, you don't wanna cut your wood off is the deal. But it's gotta slip up here. We got a target behind us. So just giving you an idea why I'm choosing this side of the tree.
We got a little greenhouse here. We can't put that.
I happen to have sights on this side too. Like that. I want to come up here, Johnny. I want to come up in here. At least.
See, you just, that's not gonna matter, but there's just a wee Dutchman there. Wondering what a Dutchman is, that's what it is. Like, that's not gonna come into effect, but that step, if that was more exaggerated, that is what your Dutchman is.
So it's starting to sit. You can feel it. See me in the power, so you can feel it. So, but guess what? I got a ton of room for wedges now. Assess your lean is the first gig, and then you know what to do for your cuts.
Let's put you guys here.
Listen to the 266 just idling away.
Start with a small wedge, then sink your big one, bang them in together, then when it's time to double up, you got a bigger wedge, you can double up with your small wedges.
That's why I like that big yellow one. Because it's longer, you can get it in farther.
You don't have a huge stump here.
No. Yeah, if your stump is bigger, like if you got a wider tree.
Hit our soft,
Obviously, but
So friends, if I was to cut this corner off right here beside Hogan, like if I was to snip that corner off right there with the tip of my bar, that tree's going over my shoulder and on that house behind me. That's how this works. That's why I freaking harp on knowing where your holding wood is.
Yeah, I'll be able
you
to
could
take
cut
a
a
little
sliver
bit more
more.
of that. Take a look at what we're done. See now.
You're cut right up now.
So Sonny, see now. I took that
Yeah.
deeper, now I can double up. A lot of guys screw that one up.
Actually go.
I got my phone. I got my phone. Yeah. I hope I didn't bust it. Where is it? No, there it is right there. Tell me you're still going. Yeah, you are. That's good. That's real good. I think we may have broken our... No, maybe not. So there we are, right where I wanted it, friend. Like literally right where I wanted it. A little bit of... Oh, something's happened. There we go. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, friends. I'm off. See? I didn't want to smash those out, so I just stay with the stump. That's why I ride stumps all the time, friends, because 9 times out of 10, we're shooting gap, right? We're shooting the gap. This had a bow to here, so that's why I stayed on the high side. I talk about the high side of the stump all the time. Well, on this little tree, the high side was here, friends. It was here, okay? Now the high side, so the high side on this tree, who knows where the high side on this tree is? Right here. Where's the high side? You guys tell me where the high side is on this. Okay?
Nice stuff. Yeah. He's on her today. Usually his whole stump procedure is like this. I think it's funny how all your stumps are like, it'll be a perfect stump, but it's kind of on like a 5% slope.
Okay, so here he is. This is heavy, friends. It is. It's bone heavy. There you go. Harvey, that saw's pulling, brother. It's pulling. I don't want you guys looking through that fence. I'm not having it. He nailed his cut. See? He's getting really good at the undercuts. That's from a different side of the tree there too. Here's our tree. It's pretty good sized fir, but it had the top blow out of it. And they're planting gardens. He's got a good looking third here. Maybe. I'm just gonna give him a wedge or two here. Beautiful. See, he's done a lot of these now, so he knows what to do. He knows the principle. He doesn't have much room for wedges, so he needs to set his wedge. He needs to get cut up and bang the tree over is what he needs to do. He needs to pull that bar out of there now. That is called cut up right there. There it goes. So this is good. So now he knows that it's cut up because his wedge loosened up. So he's just gonna tap that over now and it's gonna go. And we're shooting over there by that fence. So I'm gonna back you guys out. Give you a little bit more of a look here. So he's gone. It's leaving right now. And it's gonna go in over there. And I'll tell you, let's come over and investigate this kid. So here's the deal, friends. I've got a ton more faith in this kid. Look at this. His first stump. Son, you haven't felled trees in a while.
No.
Let's be honest.
I have not.
Your balsam was your last tree.
Yeah.
So that one over there, I was on him, and Hogan's got a. That's an old wound from logging. Guarantee. Oh no, that might. Yeah, it is.
No, because I didn't cut that. Yeah, that's nifty.
No, you must have.
No, look at it. The wood's like.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's in the stump.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Wonder if it's, yeah. So anyway, friends, look at the growth here. Did you hear what I talked to you guys about? Look at this. Here's the theme. This is actually really neat. Here's another tree. Look, friends. Sonny, look at this. Good job, by the way. Thank you. Look at that.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's more growth rings in the center in the size of a T-ball than there is in the rest of the
How
tree.
old is this house?
I think like 30 years.
30 years. You count these rings to right there. Let's do it. 1,
years.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
Yeah.
30 years.
That's crazy.
You see? So that tells the story right there, friends. Look at, that's where it started to slow down, right there. So this was a thick forest. This is stuff I like, friends. Thick forest. They came in, they bought the property. They made a little spot for their house. They let more sun in. Trees started to grow fast. Water, roots changed, everything changed. And these trees started growing fast. And you can see it in the bark. You can see it in the foliage. Limbs start breaking off because your collar, hey son, your collar changes. Everything changes when trees grow fast.
Would you like me to cut that stump down or?
Sure.
Sonny, do you want to just bone it out for them? Does that saw happen to cut?
Yeah. It's a bit hungry right now still.
Okay.
For anything longer than hard, it's gotta
Hey, bone her out. So friends, on Hogan's first tree, listen, you guys and gals out there that are, you know, playing around within your yard and cutting trees down and this and that. Listen, your first cut is the 100%, 1000% the most important cut when you're cutting a tree down. Stop. Look at the tree. Look at lean. Assess your lean. It's in the books, friends. How to cut a tree down. How to cut a tree down. Walk up to the tree. Check your hazards. Right? Check all your hazards. You want to brush the stump out? Brush the stump out. Assess your lean. Friends, assess your leans. In the book of how to cut a tree down, there's steps you take. Okay? There's steps you take, and one of the steps is, you know, you come in, you assess the lean, you look at your tree. One of the first steps is assess your lean. Assessing your lean. Assessing your lean. Assessing your lean is one of the most important parts of cutting a tree down because that tells you what to do with your very first cut. The deeper you go on your undercut, you're removing room for your wedgemanship. You're removing it. Friends, I'm not joking yous, okay? You've got to assess that lean. It tells you what to do with your first cut. assess your lean. Assess your leans. Don't go deep on your undercuts. We do go deep on our undercuts on stems and stumps and stuff like that when it calls for it. But on a tree that's leaning back, you don't want to go deep on your undercut. Here's this tree. Here's the theme of these trees. Look at this, same theme. Look, tight grain for the first 20 years and then wide for the next 30. Look at that wound from logging. That's a logging wound right there. That is a logging wound, guaranteed. So our last tree, friends, is this guy here. Someone had come in and topped it. And basically it died after someone topped it and killed it, basically is what happened. So what that is Hogan. We were on a tree job and Hogan a 335 and Donnie Walker put a little muffler on it for us, and it is lovely, friends. I mean, it is. It's nice. Over top, and we're just gonna freaking do it, okay? Like this. I'm on a freaking whim here. Now watch. Look at this, watch, look at this. Listen to me. Oh my dearness. You know what I mean? Get it in here. Get it up in there, like that. You know, look at what happens to this beautifulness. Hey, Pop. Morning. Friends, well, that's that. I hope you enjoyed it. Lots of little tidbits in there for you guys and gals that are cutting trees. And this, I've said right from the beginning, this isn't a how-to channel. But some folks would beg to differ. My titles aren't how-to. But if you can pick up stuff by watching, and I do like putting little tidbits in there and making a parent maybe on a what do I call those, interjections and stuff like that. I know they help out. So bottom line, I just hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll guys catch you on the next one. We've got that log splitter going to another big cut right now, friends. I'm loading up right now. The old man's going to give me a hand, and we're going to load the splitter up, and we're going to give that thing another run. So Eastham, if you're out there, be aware, brother. Thanks again for that. Talk to you all later on the next video. Be kind to one another.